Marianne with scrapandstampcreations.blogspot.com, and today I'm doing this is video for part 1 of the Hopscotch collection from Close to My Heart. We are using the Workshop on the Go collection for this, and that can be found in the Seasonal Expressions idea book. That is good through March 2015, so through the 31st. This collection will go very quickly, so if you have not already purchased it, I would encourage you to go over to my website, which is jerryannarmstrong.ctmh.com, and pick that up, because honestly, this will sell out. So the item number for the Workshop on the Go is G1091. It's on page 21 of the catalog, and it comes with the paper pack, it comes with a workshop stamp set, it comes with an additional sheet of colonial white cardstock, it comes with the hopscotch assortment, the extra thick twine, and a brochure that shows you how to create these two layouts. However, I don't normally use those. However, I did use some past ones in order to use the layouts that are here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you what the layouts will look like. I've created these layouts using the other collection from Close to My Heart called Heartstrings. And these layouts, these pages were created with the layouts that we are doing tonight. This collection will also expire on March 31st. It is found on page 8 and 9 of the seasonal collection. It's called Heartstrings. And in order to create this, you would need the paper pack as well as the complements. And then any of the embellishments and things like that from your stash. I did use a couple of the Workshop on the Go stamps from a couple of the other collections in this. It just seemed to work really well, so I'll point those out as we go along. So this is page 1 and 2. This is page 3 and 4, which was inspired out of the idea book, the main big idea book. So when we get to the embellishing part, I'll pull that out for you to see. The tags come out. All of these are little pieces, which is one of the things that you'll see within the cutting guides. Here's a couple of pretty plain pages. It needs a title. I'm not sure really what I want to put on it just yet, but there are lots of spots for photos. Everywhere that there is some patterned paper with text is where a photo is supposed to go. And then my favorite pages are these last two, and they use the Workshop on the Go set from the Confetti Wishes collection. It says, "Oh Happy Day," and then this piece here is from the Chalk It Up collection, Workshop on the Go collection as well. So these dots all come from the Confetti Wishes Stamp of the Month, or Workshop on the Go collection. So these are the basic layouts that we're going to create today. However, we are going to be using the Hopscotch collection. And that collection, here are the papers for it. I will bring you in really close so that you can really see them. So here is the first page. It's got some really whimsical pieces. So you get 2 pieces of this. The back side just has a really nice sorbet kind of looking. It's got, the zip strip is really cute with the little speech bubbles. The second piece is kind of this arrow print, very nice. And on the back is a flaxen with a swirl to it, a tone on tone. And then finally there is this diamond print. The zip strip is really cute with words, which will come in handy. And on the back is some patterned paper, kind of like sewing patterns. So that's really cute. You also get 1 sheet of colonial white. You will need a second sheet in order to add to your collection, or add to this in order to make this work for you. So 1 piece of colonial white. You're going to get 2 pieces, or no, 1 piece of, is it 1 piece or 2 pieces? I think it's 2 sheets actually. Oh, no, you get 1 sheet of Sunset, which is this orange color. You get 2 sheets of Flaxen, which is kind of this greeny brown. You get 2 sheets of Glacier and a sheet of Smoothie. And as you can see, we've already cut into this paper pack a little bit, so we will go ahead and match up our cutting guides with the pieces that we have, and we'll go ahead and get started on the cutting guides. All right, so let's go ahead and pick our paper. You also are going to need 8 sheets, 8 base page sheets. I'm using Colonial White. Here's the additional sheet I need for those tiles on page 3 and 4. So you just need to have a sheet that matches your base for that. Okay? So, for pattern paper A, 1A, you are going to need 1 sheet, and I think we're going to use the signature collection, this nice big bold print for 1A. For 1B, we're going to use the same, and I'm hoping I have enough. And I don't think so. Let's see. I am going to go ahead and use a piece of my Sunset for this one. Okay? So piece 1A is this piece. Piece 1B, I have just a sheet of Sunset cardstock. Okay? For pattern paper number 2A, I am going to use the sewing pattern side of the piece with the glacier on the back. So that is piece 2A. And piece 4 and page 4 and 5. These would be 1, 2. At the back of that. I have these listed as 4 and 5. Let's see. Two 2 3/4 by 5. Oh, so we've got the pocket piece here and this piece here. And then page 5, we have 1, and page 8, we have this here. One and a half by 5. Oh, it's this one right here. Okay. So, for that, we are going to choose the flip side of this paper, so the B side of our first sheet, since we've done that. And so pattern 3A is going to be our stripe with our glacier. And here is 3B, so we'll go ahead and pull that piece as well. Now we have cardstock A, and the very first piece of that is our big piece for page number 8 and 9. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the glacier for that. Now for our photo mats, here's the thing. I have 2 pieces of photo mats. My base pages are white, And so therefore my photo mats are going to be Colonial White. I had to add an additional sheet of Colonial White in order to do this, but both pages of my photo mats 1A are Colonial White. I also have a piece of photo mats called 2A, and with those I'm going to go ahead and use my flaxen. And that still leaves you with 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of cardstock and lots of stuff to stamp on, things like that. So I'm really, really excited. And so those are, I'm going to run you through those yet again, just so that you can see which papers I chose for which pieces, since we had already cut into this collection last week to make the one card in a 2-hour Ustream class, which was crazy. All right, so here we go. So page number, pattern piece 1A happens to be the signature piece. Pattern piece 1B, we have just a piece of sunset. Pattern piece 2A is the sewing pattern paper. Pattern piece 2B, we are going to use the flip side of piece number 1 of the signature piece. Pattern 3A happens to be this arrow with the flaxen on the back. And then that also is for 3B. For cardstock A, we are using our Glacier. For the photo mats 1A and 1B, we have Colonial White. So this is where you had to add that additional base page, same base page color. And then for photo mat 2A, we have a piece of flaxen. All right, so the cutting guides for this collection can be found over on my blog, which is scrapandstampcreations.blogspot.com. And so what we're going to do now is go ahead and get to cutting and sorting so that we can move our video to the next page. All right, and I'm hoping to get this done before I know that there's someone streaming in about 45 minutes. So hopefully we will get this all done before then. All right, so our very first page is, we're going with 1A. And our first cut is going to be at 2 3/4. And at 8 inches. This one is for page number 1, and this is for page number 2. So we'll just go ahead and slip those in our pieces. And then this extra piece goes in the very front. We've done enough of these, you guys should be able to kind of do them in your sleep, I think. All right, so that's number 1. Piece number, pattern paper 1B, which would either be the match to that or we're using sunset. Our first cut is going to be at 4 inches. And then we're going to cut this down to 4 3x4s. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our next cut is going to be at 3 inches. And we're going to cut 4 3x3s. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our next cut is also going to be at 3 inches. And we're going to cut a 3x3 and a 2.5x3. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and slip these in. These two pieces here go in our front pocket for embellishments. The 2.5x3 goes for page 5. The 3x3 here goes for page 6. The 3 of these go for 5 and the other one goes for 6. And then these ones, 2 of them go for page 5 and 2 of them go for page 6. Alright, so we are done with pattern 1B. We're moving on to pattern piece number 2. And this is, again, our sewing pattern paper. And our first sheet is cut at 7 1/4. Seven and a quarter. Our next cut is at 2 1/2. Followed by 2 pieces at 1/4 inch by 12. And we're actually going to use the flip sides of those. And then a 1 1/2 by 12 inch piece. Okay. And our zip strip with our words, we're going to go ahead and slip that in the front. So this is for page number 1 and page number 2. And this is for page number 3 and page number 3 are these 2 little pieces here. And this one is for page number 7. Alright, we're moving on to page number, pattern paper 2B. And we're using the flip side to this one on this side. And our first cut is going to be at 3 1/2 by 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, and then by 2 1/2, and then we're cutting this piece down to 3 inches. And then we need a piece that is 1 1/2 by 4 inches. These go in our extra pile in the very front. This is for page number 8. Extra pile for these 2 pieces. We have page 5, page 4, and page 4. Okay. For pattern paper number 3, we have, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. We have our arrows. And this piece is getting cut at 3 inches, and then at 4 inches, and then at 1 3/4 inches, at 1 1/2, and this is an extra that goes in the front. So we have page number 2, page number 1, page number 4, and page number 3. We're moving on to 3B, which is very, 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 just 2 little pieces out of this. So we're going to cut at 3 inches. And we're going to rotate to 4 inches and at 2 1/2 inches. Leaves us room for lots of embellishments there. And this piece here is for page number 5. And this piece is for page number 6. We're going to move on to cardstock 1A, which we are using our glacier for. We are going to cut at 7 1/4. We're going to rotate around to 9 1/2. And that gives us 7. Seven 1/4. Okay. And then we need a 7 1/4 by a 1/2 inch. And then we need a 1 by 5. And these are extra. Out of this piece, we need a 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And we need 4 of these. Oh, we needed a cardstock. Oh, I forgot that there was one more piece in here. There's a note that says you need the other piece. So I need to pull that out. All right, so these are for page 7 and 8. Actually, one is for page 8, one is, the rest of them are for page 7. This large piece is for page 8, and then this piece is for page number 7, and this piece is for page number 7. And then here I have a 2A, so I knew that there was, let's see, where's my paper? Where did I do with my paper? Here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and use the, what is that called? Smoothie for 2A. Okay, so we're going to cut a 3-inch strip here. And we're going to cut at 2 1/2 and at 2 1/2. And these are for page 5 and 6. Alright, so then this goes in this front piece as well. I'm going to make some pretty flowers. I've got a stamp set that we're going to stamp with. That'll be that. Alright, so here are the photo mats. There are a lot of photo mats because there's a lot of background space. So our first cut is going to be at 4 inches. And we're going to cut this in half at 6. Our next cut is at 4 inches. And we need 2 of these at 4 by 4. This 4 by 4 we're cutting down into 4 2 by 2s. This piece we're cutting to 3 inches, and we're going to cut 4 3 by 3s. 1, 2, 3. This white piece is extra. We're going to slip it in the very front. The 2 4 by 6s are for page 1 and 2. The 2 big 4 by 4 ones are also for pages 1 and 2. The 4x4 squares are also for pages 1 and 2. The 3x3s are for pages 3 and 4. And we are going to do photo mats 1B and the tiles. So this is a page full of stuff. But I've mapped it all out, so we should get it all out of there. We're going to do our first cut at 3. We're going to cut a 3x3 square. We need a 2x3, a second 2x3, a 2.5x3, and a 2.5x3. Our second cut is going to be at 2.5. Our first cut is going to be at 1. Our next cut is going to be at 6. Our next cut is at 2.5. Oh, that's not right. I need to tape these back together. So this one should have been at 2 inches, and then this piece should have been 3 inches. So that's okay. We will just make it work. Our next cut is at 3.5. I will just grab some good old tape. 3.5 by 3.5. 3.5 by 3.25. Then we're going to cut down to 3.25 here. So now we're going to cut at 2 inches, at 1 inch, and that leaves a 1.5 inch piece. Our next cut is going to be at 1.5. And then 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 3 inches, and 3/25. Our last piece gets cut at 2 inches, 2 inches, 4 inches, and then this one gets cut down to 1 1/4 by 4. Okay. Now I need to fix this piece right here that we cut weird, because I'm not perfect, as you guys learned last week. 2 hours on one card. That was like crazy. So anyway, I'm going to tape this puppy back together with a little bit of washi tape, I guess. See? Now that piece is perfect. Alright, so now I am putting these away. This is a lot of tile pieces, you guys, and that's the fun part of that layout. So all of the tile pieces go in 3 and 4, which is I do have them sorted. Oops. You know, all the tile pieces go in 3 and 4. So we're just going to sneak those in. So these, the 2x3s go in page 1 and 2. This 3x3 goes in 3 and 4. And all of these little pieces go in 3 and 4. So I'm going to go ahead and slip them in page 4. And then it'll just be a big old jigsaw puzzle to put it all together. It'll be fun. Actually, I already have a template, so we're good. Okay, so that takes care of photo mats 1B and all of the tiles for 3 and 4. Okay, so we're at our last piece of cutting, and this is photo mats for 2A. And our first cut is going to be at 7 1/4. We're going to rotate this around to 5 1/4. We're going to cut this piece down. That is 7 1/4. We're going to cut it down to 6 1/4. And then we're going to cut it at 5. And then we've got 2 4x6 pieces. All right. So these extra pieces go in the very front. These 2 pieces go for 7 and 8. And these two pieces also go for 7 and 8. All right, so that is all of the cutting that is needed to complete the layouts for today's class. So they are all sorted into the page protectors, really easy. I am really super excited about this class. So go ahead and watch for the hopscotch video part 2, which will be putting the pages together. You can find the cutting guides again at scrapandstampcreations.blogspot.com, and you can purchase the paper and the embellishments and everything that I am using over on my website, jerryannarmstrong.ctmh.com. Thanks for joining me.